Well, hello guys, and welcome back to 5 minutes of me staring at my hair to find out what it looks like. All seriousness, if I seem sleepy, you guys know I've been super busy today. Oh my god, I still didn't get to his pancakes today. I've been vaping out on those so bad. So sorry, honey. Um, I made his furniture today. Kind of made it the blue one the other day, and I'm like still getting to the point where I do things the way he wants them done. And that's actually like what the topic is today. Because what we Lokeans kind of do to do a disservice is, and we do Loki a disservice, we kind of do ourselves a disservice, is we like to kind of pretend we have this ancient 5 billion-year-old religion, and we don't. I'm not saying that ancient people never worked with Loki, but I'm also saying we don't have ancient temples. Now, there's convincing evidence to some people that people did work with Loki, and there's convincing evidence to some people that he never straight up existed. So between those two extremes, we'll probably find the truth one day. One day. To me, I think that he was a god that may have predated the Norse gods. I think that as all these gods and people came together, the stories kept shifting and changing. The god from one area got demoted, the god from another area got promoted. It was a political thing. If the king said so-and-so is now the top god and your god is not, you did what the king said. So, brings us to what I think is important for us to remember, and what I always did when I wrote articles. I hate giving people a list of things. When people always start working with Loki and with the new thing, new Thor movie, Ragnarok, in filming now and going to be coming out, we're going to get a lot more Lokeans. We will. And with American Gods, we may get new Lokeans. We may not. We may. I hate handing people, this is a list of colors, this is a list of herbs, this is a list of stuff, you have to do this, because sometimes the god will be like, no, 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 that's not what I want from you. But this is what the list says, but that's not what I want with you. And some of us have that type of personality where we're like, but this is what the list says, but that is not what I want from you. So kind of like learn that the list is usually what people made up, well-meaning people, like, Loki got associated with fire, so red's his color. But some people say he also likes blue. With me, he likes green. He also likes black. He also likes white. And that has nothing to do with anything he ever wore in a Marvel movie or a comic book or a video game or anything else. I've known him for, what, I'm 40, so I've known him for 40 years, literally. Long story there. And I want to bring out the statue, because this is actually a statue that he likes. It's actually Coin Bank, as you can see. It's actually, we have stuff in it that is kind of not your business. Not to be rude, but I have put items in here for him to make it into, like, you know how you make like voodoo bottles? Kind of the same concept. And he likes it, and he has no problem with the Tom Hiddleston character of Loki, because he and I both know very well that the character of Loki is meant to be a comic book character. It's not meant to be Loki, the sacred Norse god Loki. If you even get into the second movie, by that time they're not even gods. Odin even says they're not gods. They're just these extraordinarily long-lived beings, extraterrestrials, I don't know what you want to call them, and they've chosen to take interest in mortals, humans, and help them. Mostly. Except for Loki, who has daddy issues because he was left out in the cold and, you know, left to die, and he gets adopted just because, you know, Odin is like the worst parent ever in the movies. And, you know, he has all this trauma in his life, and now the third movie's coming out, and it looks like he might become a hero. So yeah, we might get a lot of Lokeans, and that might be their sacred truth, and that might be the Loki they get, because remember, our Loki, the Loki, is an opportunist, and if that's the only way you know him, that's how he's going to show up, and he's not going to mind. He's going to be like, hey, that's the only thing these people have, because you have to remember, sometimes getting to know Loki through the tales is a luxury. It's not always open to everyone. Not everyone's going to like the tales. Not everybody can stand there and listen to sacred stuff. If you were really hit with it in another religion, you might just be done with it. And the way I've always looked at it anyways is that tales are there to help explain to us things that we can't possibly understand as humans about our gods. They're wonderful, but we shouldn't take them as written in stone. They help explain to us aspects of our gods we couldn't otherwise understand. But once we start taking them as written in stone, we run into the problems of becoming radical in our religion, and that's not good for anyone. And the thing is, we also miss out on a lot of the things, like with Loki especially. He was like, he wanted the one chair blue. And when I had went out to get the lights, I had just got whatever colors they got, and they had ended up having red and green and blue. And ended up he liked one of the green ones. And most people would be like, you can't give him green, but for mine, he likes green, because for mine, with me, Loki has this heavily woods aspect, and that's never going to change, and that's why he chose green. It had nothing to do with the Marvel movies, even though he does like the Marvel statue, and he finds the movies amusing, and he's not offended by them. And two, like, he likes the color red because that's what, people have, like, more or less assigned to him. He will sometimes really wear it when he shows up, but 9 times out of 10 he won't. He'll take the color blue. He'll take a lot of colors with me. And I think that's the thing. We limit our gods when we get too dogmatic. If you saw the movie Dogma, that's the thing. If you don't give Loki enough room to work, you'll start stifling him in. And I had actually been looking at this lovely green, because I know he does love green. At least with me he does. He loves green. And I was actually looking at this paint. I showed you guys the red chairs, and he absolutely adores them. So I was looking at the red paint, because I didn't do the best, the red paint, that series, they made like blue and green and some other colors. Well, the green is like almost twice what the red color costs, and so I was trying to find a more affordable can. And long story short, I was going to redo the blue chair because I didn't think it came out too good. And he's like, no, I like my blue chair. I'm like, okay, because it got hit by the rain. I thought it had set. No, it got hit by the rain. But yeah, guys, I would say, it's important to remember to not be uptight. I know a lot of people, the Marvel Loki is like a trigger for them, and it's like, in my personal experience, he doesn't care. In fact, he likes, I got the clock, and he likes it, and I have the statue, and he likes it, and it's like, I've even been looking like at a poster, a fabric poster, obviously not like a legit poster. I don't think a clock's legit either, but he finds them amusing. He knows it's him in a sense. It's like kind of like an aspect of him in that it kind of sort of tells his story, at least gets him out there. I personally don't kill for Neil Gaiman. If he got ran over by a tank, I'd be like one of the happiest Lokeans in the world, because I think he kind of, personally, I don't like Neil Gaiman. You might love him. You might think, oh, he spread the word over gods. He's so beautiful. And that's the thing. Like, Loki doesn't care about Neil Gaiman either way, I don't think. I don't think particularly fond of the man, but, if he didn't like the man, come on, dude, it's Loki. And that's the same thing. We have to remember, Loki's a big god, and if he didn't like someone, he would take care of them himself. He would. So, I just say, like, try not to let stuff bother you too much. And if you're worried about, like, an influx of Lokeans during the next film, I'd say don't let it worry you too much. I'm always on Pinterest and I'm seeing older people that liked Loki coming back, but I'm actually not seeing like a whole ton of new people come and say, "Oh my God, Loki! How can I learn about Loki and everything else?" It's not that thrill of a first movie coming out. It's like the end of a trilogy, so you're not getting the same impact you have from the first movie. So, just give him room to work, and I know I'm kind of rambling. I had a cohesive point in mind. But yeah, just kind of let him have room to work, and just kind of let him have his way, because if you like try to block him from something, sometimes you miss a blessing with him. And like I know, like with him, he really likes this statue, and he really likes gold as a color. He likes black as color. He likes green as color. I haven't seen him intentionally dislike a color. Well, unless it's like a really revolting color. But just remember, he might want something different from you that's not written down in a book, and it's not. I've never discussed it in a video, and no one else has ever mentioned it. And the same thing goes for food offerings or sacred animals or whatever. So, just give him enough leeway to work with, and that's, a good thing to do, to be open, to be flexible enough to let Loki lead you in different directions. Don't worry if it's not written down in a book or something. I got told off by people for sharing things, but one, I don't ever share anything that he says don't share that, but two, I also share because I think it's good to add to the knowledge base that we do have, so that people that have had the same experience don't feel lost. And I don't teach privately, so this is as good as it's going to get. If anybody ever wanted me to teach them, it's like, this is it. I don't teach privately, so if you ever wanted lessons from me on Loki, this is it. Okay, guys, I hope that helped, and I hope it just helps you, so that if there's like something you associate with Loki, and maybe other Lokeans have given you flack for it, and Loki's been like, but it's okay. In fact, it's what I want. You realize, I know it's hard. I know it's easy in concept to say, listen to Loki, and that, in real life, it's kind of hard because there's this piece of paper or there's this person telling you, no, it has to be this way. And he's going, but no, this is what I want. So, just do the best you can, and eventually it does get easier. Okay, guys, and sorry if I haven't been looking into the camera. I know how highly reflective these glasses are, so I'm like trying to like look slightly off camera so that you're not getting blinded by the light. Not a word out of you, Loki. Okay, I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.